don't think it's recording.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it is. So we're gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
I'm like, why isn't there a red light on the front? So anyway. Boop. Cut. Hey, this is Brian and my beautiful wife Taylor here. We're making this first video to kind of jump off the documentation of, or chronicling of our major move that's going on in our lives right now. Basically what we've decided is to kind of uproot ourselves from California, get out of here, go back to Washington where Taylor was born and grew up, get close to her family, get rooted back up there. So we have gone through probably, I don't know, 20 different ideas and plans and how this is going to happen, and what if we do this first and then do this next, and do we sell the house, do we rent something, do we build something big, and we've kind of come up with a plan to build a tiny house up on the property first, right? Mm-hmm. And we got 20 acres up in central Washington, beautiful area near Lake Chelan, and yeah, we've started building a tiny house. We got a 26-foot trailer. Things are happening up there, and we're gonna make a lot of videos going into a lot of detail about what that build looks like. Why don't you talk a little bit about why we're doing this?
So I wanted to go back home probably since I moved here, and when we first met, I was ready to go back home. I was booking a plane ticket, I was doing job searches, and I was ready. I was completely prepared to go. And when we went on, I don't even think we went on our first date before I told you. I think just in conversation I was like, I don't think we can date because I'm moving. Yeah. Like, I was dead set, like, I'm leaving.
She was already filling out job applications and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, don't go. Let's just give it a little time and see what happens. You know, if you end up hating me, then sure, go for it.
Yeah.
But
so here we are.
5 years later, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, we found a piece of property up there. Brian had made it really clear when we first met that he really wanted property. He really loved the idea of having property, of being able to have a big garden, and... Yeah, right now we're near Santa Cruz, California. I work in Santa Cruz, little beach town, surf town. It's a great place, you know, awesome place that I work at. I love it, but you know, the house isn't totally what I want. The property here definitely isn't what I want, and the cost of living is just crazy. So you know, over half my paycheck goes just to our mortgage. So it's really kind of held us back from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish financially. You know, if this house was paid off and I had no mortgage, great, you know, we would have plenty of opportunity to travel and, you know, do the fun recreational stuff that costs an arm and a leg, you know, but that between mortgage, food, utilities, all that kind of stuff, it really just kind of, all that's left over is putting a few bucks in the bank, and it's not enough to really go have a lot of fun with. So we're hoping mortgage-free tiny home gives us the opportunity to really figure out what's important in our lives and what we enjoy doing the most, and have the financial freedom to do that. And then after that, I mean, we're not planning on staying in a tiny home forever. We're not those kind of people, even though, you know, we would like to say that, yeah, we can live minimally and all this kind of stuff. We're just not those kind of people. But
having a tiny home for an interim period, say 1 to 2 years, while we figure out what a full-size house looks like, and you know what our plans are for the next couple of years, having kids, things like that. So it's really just giving us the opportunity to make better decisions in the next couple of years. Why don't you kind of give an idea of, you know, you've already said why we want to leave, but what about, what's the draw of going up there?
So for me, I want to be around family, just period. He really wants to start a family, and he's definitely ready for that, but I can't put myself in a place to have children without having family close by. To me, family and the connection that family brings to children and the community is really important. A lot of my values are around having family and around having that support and being able to have family events and being there for birthdays and having family there for our kids' birthdays. So I think family is just the main draw.
And here in Santa Cruz, you know, we have aunts and uncles that are close. They're 15 or 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
But that's really the closest family we have here. My parents are close to 3 hours away near Sacramento, and the whole rest of her family is up in Washington. So when we're talking about relocating, it's like, where can we go where we're near the most, you know, amount of family, and we can bring everyone together in one location.
So when Brian and I first met, we decided that Santa Cruz wasn't where we wanted to raise our kids. We both enjoy Santa Cruz and we both want to vacation here and come back here and visit, but we don't want this to be where we raise our kids. We don't think that it's the environment that we want them to be in all the time. And then also,
yeah, it's just not, our values just don't kind of align with Santa Cruz. You know, there's some really good moral people here, but there's also just kind of this environment of, you know,
there's a lot of things that are
lack of responsibility, I want to say, and passing things off to other people, and yeah, it just doesn't, the morals don't just quite align with who we are. I guess it's just a touch too liberal for me, if I want to put it in a political term. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off a little bit.
So as far as, do you want to talk about maybe like what our plan is?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, I'm going to do, you know, I got a whole bunch of videos coming up as far as what we're building, how we're building it, why we're building it, all that kind of stuff. So you'll get a lot of opportunity, if you continue watching us, to see how the house is built. But there's a lot of topics that we also want to cover besides just the house building. You know, I'm really into technology. I'm an IT systems administrator. I love smart home stuff. I love building. I love tinkering with little projects and things like that. So there'll be a lot of projects around the property, around the house. Even after the build itself is done, I'll be kind of chronicling that sort of thing. And Taylor, she's a design queen. You can kind of see from the background a little bit. She's really into interior design, fashion, but she also has a big passion for helping women out in relationships. So that's kind of what she's focusing on professionally, doing relationship coaching. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that you'll be covering also? Food, wellness, that kind of stuff as well?
Yeah, we'd like to cover some of that stuff. We both are really into health and our diets and putting good things into our bodies. And that's one thing that we're really excited about the property, is that we have so much acreage up there that we can do so much. I know that we're really excited to share permaculture and how we design everything, and then
really want a sustainable property. So we want to be able to grow on the land. We want to be able to enjoy the land. We want to be able to
create an environment that's not only healthy for us, but also healthy for the wildlife that is naturally in that area. So there's gonna be a lot of topics, and we're really excited to get started. We've been kind of like, we gotta make this first video, we gotta make this first video, we gotta make this first video so that all of the rest makes sense. So we're really excited to have you on the journey with us, and stay tuned for more videos.